What is piddly poppin' chinging? You know the
That's
usual.
not. That's not the intro to these though.
Is it
There's
not?
like a specific I don't remember what it was, but I remember
we
there
have
being
an
an
intro?
intro. Yeah. There was this whole little spiel. I don't remember. Howdy, I'm Aden of Tired Couch Productions. What's poppin'?
And I am Parker of Karionyte. Oh, you see, that's so weird. It's such a weird concept, just being Karionyte again.
You gotta stop yourself. You gotta
really-
stop yourself short.
I really do, cause like I'm a brand now. But am I a brand? And now,
If you start a YouTube channel, you're basically a brand in my mind.
oh,
That's-
thank you. I'm honored.
It's not a high bar, granted.
It isn't. It
but
really
is.
isn't.
It is
But
a brand by definition.
It's a nice thought. I mean, I do have like 2 items of merch, physical. I mean, that exist in physicality, so that's nice.
Sure.
So, this is actually the finale episode of, the Other Side of the Fence. If you follow us on Twitter, you heard about this month ago.
I never told anybody, so unless you did.
Did I? I feel like maybe I did.
I don't think you announced it because I've been looking on Twitter to retweet it and I have not seen
Well, shit.
anything.
Okay.
And I know I hadn't either.
Well, okay, I remember we were supposed I think you told me to.
I told you to, and then you didn't.
And then I feel like I did. Like,
I follow your Twitter. I haven't seen it. Maybe I'm wrong.
that's so weird. Like, what the fuck is
Maybe
up
I'm
with
wrong.
us today?
Surprise! We're canceling the show.
Well,
Spooky.
yeah. I'm sorry to hear it, guys. It's mainly because I forget why.
It's Parker's fault.
Oh,
It's
wait,
Parker's fault.
What? No,
specifically.
that's not true.
I got set up with Parker, and I said no more, no more of these damn podcasts.
Oh shit! Actually,
need
you
to
know
go.
what? It was your idea. So why are we closing down again? I completely forgot.
Now you're gonna make me scroll up to my DM history and try to find out what the exact wording of it was. Because
I remember it wasn't negative.
too tired to remember.
It was rather.
Oh yeah.
It was like
So-
super optimistic.
So, I was like, LOL, I do way too many fucking side projects on Twitter. And then I was looking at different things in particular, and Other Side of the Fence. And I even did this with the potential Gaming Through the Ages reboot that never happened. But I pretty much messaged Parker and was like, yo, I don't want to do a long-ass side series anymore, but what if instead we spend that time on, like, actual collab stuff? Just in place of that time. And Parker was like, yeah, I'll trade that out. And so we did. So even though Other Side of the Fence is ending, there will still be collab stuff between me and Parker. I think just for me specifically, I was getting a lot of... I was just getting exhausted with a lot of the side project stuff. And having a series like this going on in the midst of everything else I do was a bit chaotic. So I just thought, whatever, I guess. I don't
It's
know.
all good, because even if you don't just see us on one of our... Excuse me, this is giving me anxiety. Oh, we're fine. Sorry, I was checking the mic that was the right one. Like, I knew it was the right one, but I got scared anyway.
He fucked it up. We're going to have to restart
we're all
the
good.
whole
We're all good.
recording
But,
over again.
So, even if you don't see, like, a bunch on either one of our individual channels, you're still going to see a lot of Aden and I specifically on LHG, which we plug enough.
Yes,
Especially because
yes.
we have our Stardew series, and
Still doing that.
if you're like most people, you probably like our on stream chemistry. So you got that going. So, without any further ado, we're gonna bring up the topic of today, which is very seasonal and very thematic towards where we are. And I find it really funny because it really just came out of my ass, but it worked.
It sure did.
So let's ride this train, buddy. I got a puppers, and let's ride. And in honor of the final side of the fence, allow me to do a toast.
Okay.
All right.
I got a water bottle. That's all I have.
You got a water bottle?
unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's great. So,
I just hit it up against the microphone. You want like a real loud screeching noise?
here's to the breezes that flow through the treeses and lift up the skirt above the kneeses and reveals to us all that teases, pleases, and sometimes spreads diseases. Sweet Jesus, what a snatch down the hatch.
There, I tapped it. I gave it a little tap.
L'chaim. All right. So,
I don't drink soda anymore. I'm not cool. I'm just drinking water. It's not as exciting as Parker's apple cider alcohol.
It's not alcohol.
Parker was like, I need to drink before every episode of Other Side of the Fence, so he just grabbed out fucking Bud Light apple cider, and here he is, just drinking away his issues.
When your homeboy just gets apple orchard out of the fucking corner.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Alright, so our topic is kind of just the idea of horror media being amicable. And I know what you're thinking, guys. Oh, that's kind of stupid. Why? Well,
yes.
For one of the first times, the other side of the fence isn't just a counterpoint on something we already have faith in. It's a divide.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Because usually Aden and I agree for the most part whenever we do these. But we have completely different opinions as to whether or not horror as a media is a... well, how would you word it?
I guess just one of us enjoys it a lot more than the other, I guess. And I feel like that would be a pretty interesting discussion to hear why from both ends.
Right.
It should be a pretty interesting conversation, hopefully. And we'll get into like Halloween shit in general too, I guess, too, because it's just a fun holiday to talk about, and that'd be fun to get into as well if we need it. If we have more time, we'll hop into that shit as well. Cool. Cool beans.
Nice job. All right.
Yeah.
So
I transitioned it well.
Who would like to?
Transitioner.
How do you want to start this?
So I guess I'll just start off by saying I, in particular, am not a big fan of the spooks in general. Not in movies.
Okay.
Not in games.
I
guess like songs are okay because it's only like 3 minutes.
Songs?
Yeah, like Halloween themed music, I guess. Like
there's Halloween themed music.
Like the Nightmare Before Christmas soundtrack, or atmospheric stuff. Like, even though I'm not a fan of a lot of horror games, typically the atmospheric music in general is just like, I can fuck with this. This is fine.
I've never seen that movie.
It's good. It's solid. I rewatched it recently. It was hype. Anyway, so like music I'm okay with, but like movies and games, I guess novels I don't read a lot anyway, so there's that one covered. But yeah, just not a fan, and I've tried to figure out why and why I'm like that, and I think it just comes down to the fact that like that's too much anxiety. That's not why would anyone want to purposely introduce anxiety into their life? I don't understand it. I have enough already, all right?
Okay, so...
I don't need any more.
Opening with fucking mood there, bud.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, logically speaking, I understand where you're coming from. Because, like, that doesn't seem like it would make much sense.
Right.
But it's the, like, there's a scientific reason. There's something about the adrenaline of having to go through a life-altering and possibly ending situation that you gather from viewing or participating in these spooky dukes. But because you know it physically can't hurt you, it's just the adrenaline without the pain.
Sure.
Granted, the fucking anxiety, though, that's there. But like
that's there throughout, and you don't really get a release a lot of the time. No, like, I'm okay with, like, risk takers or people who like jump out of planes to get an adrenaline rush. Like, okay, fine. Like, I understand that at least, but like the idea of just like sitting in a room with the lights off, purposely fucking yourself over just for a little bit of adrenaline and of a spook, I don't know. I've had too many real life things as well that I'm like, I don't want to recreate that. I don't know. I like feeling nice and cozy and all that sort of stuff. And that's not to say like I don't like mature films or you know, like dramas or stuff like that. Like, that can be fine. But particularly spooky stuff in general, I have a hard time stomaching. Weirdly enough, Ethan loves that shit.
Really?
Like, Ethan was, like, in the theater with his girlfriend watching It Chapter 2.
I really want to see that.
Dude going out watching horror movies as a kid even.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, like, I'm the older brother. As a kid even, he found, like, a VHS tape of, like, Pumpkinhead or whatever. I've never seen the movie. And he's like, what, like 6 or 7? Just sitting there enjoying it, just loving it. I'm like, what? I don't understand this. He watched those sci-fi movies on the Sci-Fi Channel. It's like all supposed to be spooky or whatever. Those I can kind of get because they're funny, because they're like badly produced.
Yeah.
But weirdly enough, like not me. I don't know why.
Well, that's Jesus Christ. I'm just imagining Ethan sitting in the cinema with his lady watching it.
Yeah.
That's a fucking way to go about your life there, bud.
They watched what was it? Not was it The Conjuring? It was another fucked up one like that too. And I'm like, why would you go out and watch that? I don't know.
Well, I mean, The Conjuring has like a connotation to it, considering the events transpired.
No, okay, right. It's like real life sort of shit.
Real accounts and stuff.
But what about you specifically? Like, what's your relation to horror
as a
media?
genre? Ooh, this is fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys as Masterian legates and chain gangers, you should probably understand that I shit on my family quite often because I didn't have a very good living existence. I still don't, to be honest, but we kind of thrive in emotion. We not. Now, my existence is very complicated in that horror as a genre has always been introduced to me accidentally or just curiously.
Okay.
Now, for context, I was read it, like the book, as a bedtime story.
That book's a little fucked up.
It is a pretty fucked book, yeah.
I've heard of a particular gangbang scene involving a bunch of minors, and I'm like, well, that's enough for me. I'm good.
I would have said plumbers because they are in a sewer, but
whatever.
I mean, just fucking Jesus Christ.
I'm not joking about that. That's in the book. Like, I've heard about this. No, Stephen King. What are you doing? What drugs are you taking?
Oh, believe me, I own enough Stephen King books to ask the same question. Like one I'm reading right now. I'm just chilling, and it's like, oh yeah, I can't wait to watch the eclipse with Daddy. Yeah, hey honey, you want to sit on my lap? Sure, so I can see the eclipse better. Yeah, huh? Daddy, why are the back of my pants wet? Sorry, your dress is just kind of tight, my 10-year-old daughter. And I'm like, no.
Here we go. Here we go again.
Stephen King got some issues.
Clearly. Very clearly.
It's just always been really natural to me. Like, I grew up watching my father play Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
Like, I used to kind of watch it as if it were a movie, which wasn't probably the best for me. Like, I still have, like, these weird, just, like, images of shooting a preacher in the head. And then, like, a tapeworm coming out. I'm like, okay. And then, like, the other thing, I suppose, is I haven't had nightmares in... I haven't had nightmares in almost 10 years. And,
interesting.
I'll get into why later, because I feel like that's going to be an interesting topic, too.
Okay.
But the fact that I can't have nightmares is another reason I really appreciate horror as a genre, because a lot of the things that scare me in life, so I don't have to be afraid of going to bed after. It's just... I find it kind of interesting because one of the things I really like about like horror in media is the fact that you have to put some kind of work into it if you're going to achieve anything. And I feel that like when it comes to movies, you want to feel something, don't you?
Right.
Like if you don't feel anything, it was bad. If you don't feel anything other than disgust, it was bad.
Disgust works too. It's an emotion.
She really does. Yeah. But when you can really embody just like terror in someone's eyes, they had to work up to that. Like it's hard to be awful and scary at the same time, and you can tell very obviously from movies like the sci-fi ones that are produced awfully, because they're so bad that they can't be scary, making them funny.
Right. Well, it's just like a lot of horror media in particular is very active in like a lot of things. You can kind of just experience passively in the sense that like you can just kind of chill and also like play a game or listen to a song or watch a film and not really have to engage with it. Whereas horror is very interesting. Is like if you want to get the most out of it, you have to actively engage, just in both on the filmmaking and as an audience member. And I think a lot of the time with like sci-fi shit in particular, it's so badly produced that like that element of fear and the unknown is kind of replaced with, oh, I know exactly what this is. This is a bad CGI budget. There's nothing scary about this.
I know
whatever.
exactly what this is. It's Sharknado 3.
It's fine. And I guess that's why, like, older horror games I'm okay with.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's a level of charm to it where it's like, okay, this looks like a fucking polygon zombie. I'm okay with this, right? It's not remotely realistic at all. It tries to act scary, but it's not affecting me in any particular way.
All right.
So usually, like, for horror stuff for me, it takes about, like, 5 to 10 years after it's out before it's, like, okay to look at now. I don't know. But it's very active is what I'm trying to say. It's not passive remotely at all, and I think that is interesting.
I find that, dated horror is actually better than current horror.
Oh,
Depending,
yeah.
You might hear that. You might not. But I like to I find that it is because there's a sweet spot in any horror media of so awful it's amazing, or so good it's almost awful when it comes to like visual and sound quality that makes it terrifying. Like
right.
there's only 2 horror movies to this day I can say actually like fucked me up. And those were, like, one of them was after the No Nightmare thing, and one was before. And, it was so weird because they're both in that sweet spot. Now, when it comes to movies, it's the 80s. The 80s has the weirdest horror movies, and that's why they're the best, because the quality is so close to being, oh, that's clearly not real, to, oh my god, that could be real. It's that, what is it called? The Uncanny Valley.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it petrifying. Like, I've alluded to Sleepaway Camp before. I think maybe on camera, maybe not. I just know, like, we had a conversation about it. I joked about us watching it on Amazon Video, and you're like, no, that's a horror movie. We ain't playing that game.
LOL.
And to this day, that is my favorite horror movie because it fucked me up.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it takes a lot of work to do that. And in doing that, I found an appreciation for the art form, and I still like love to watch that. I literally have it like right next to me, like here. I like the way I'm recording these because like every once in a while I'm just gonna turn on my webcam and then I can meme on something. But
nobody will be able to see what the fuck you're talking
straight
about.
up here. Here's my copy of Sleepaway Camp, guys. It's just sitting up here. But I really appreciate it because it has that effect. It has that campy acting sometimes, so bad it's good, almost Outsiders quality, and it's just it has that charm to it that I really appreciate, and that's what really gets. I don't know.
It's weird to think like the less money and development that goes into a horror film can somehow make it better. I guess just simply based off the fact that it's more true to life, I guess, and not like made on a Hollywood set with the CG budget and $18 billion or like when it's just a dude in the woods like fucking filming shit.
Yeah.
Like that can be intensely more powerful because it's true to life.
I mean, I'm not sure if you know this. You guys might. I'm not sure. But horror movies as a genre are the cheapest movies to make.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it.
Like 100%. Like the budget of a horror movie can maybe go up to $1 million, and that could be substantial. Like it's really easy to make a horror movie.
I'd probably put it with like horror films and cheap parody movies.
Yeah,
It's like the same level.
I'm talking about like good quality horror movies, really cheap. It just But that's also one of its downfalls because of like tropes. And just like, man, I've seen
bad acting.
Bad acting. Like
they'll hire anybody. I'm telling you.
It takes a lot to be. It's just really. How do I word this? there's moments in a lot of movies you'll see that are like, man, that could have been delivered better. Man, that really broke the immersion.
Right.
And horror movies are really good at doing that.
Constantly.
Look at Troll 2. Oh, he's eating her! Oh my god!
just overacted hammy nonsense.
I know.
Yeah.
And, like,
that's a good scene.
But then there's, like, the nuances to it, like Candyman, which is a fucking piece of art, by the way. Like, Candyman, yeah, it's a horror movie, but it's almost more to, like, Phantom of the Opera-y. Like, it has passion and existence, and its pure form is supposed to be, like, melodic and mystical rather than just, like, scary.
See, that's interesting because, like, would you say...
Yeah.
Because when I think of horror films, I think of, like, two different camps. I think of the jump scary, gory, slasher type crowd, right?
Okay. So shit.
And then the other camp is the more psychological, mental, mindfuckery type, 60 minutes of nonsense type of film in particular. Right. Do you lean one way or the other?
Ooh,
when it comes to those two? Or do you like a mix of both?
I love that mix. Because there's... Okay, so, Sleepaway Camp is right in the middle.
Okay.
It has... the fuckery is... It takes a bit to get there, but when you get there, you're just like, why? One day I genuinely want to sit you down and watch that movie with you. Probably in the middle of the day. Just, you know, for your sake. But just like... some people tell me that movie got to me because I was 10, which I can get now, but like,
sure,
the fuckery is what got to me rather than the slasher tropes that are definitely there. Now,
I'm a fan of visual fuckery. I can get down with that.
We can clown, buddy.
Right. It's just when it gets to LOL jump scare territory.
It's not really. It's not a jump scary movie.
Is when I fall victim to LOL anxiety hours.
It's got that Ako Taco gore though, but like that's it's all like expected almost. It's not like oh yeah, ooh, I didn't see that shit's appearing. It was more like, oh yeah, you're literally killing a guy. Who would have thought? Which is much more palatable.
Right.
And like, I don't know. It's just with that I feel like jump scares are really good when they're used correctly.
Okay. Elaborate on
that. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. They can be used correctly?
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I wouldn't be either, but it's probably just because they've been abused. Because jump scares are supposed to really, like, add essence. And that's what they haven't done in a really long time. There's this... I can't remember the movie, but there's this one scene where these two kids just like sitting in almost like a teepee inside.
Okay.
Basically like a fort. And then, you know, you hear the spooky sound like coming from the right, and like there's this one kid on like the left, and then it just keeps like going up and up and up and slowly moving over to the one on the right.
Oh.
And then you just see like a kid like vomit. And then it moves back to the left, and there's the thing. That's a jump scare. That's deserved. It's the music, it's the tension, and it's showing you what you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But we're abusing jump scares to these days. Like, it's like, oh man, I can't wait to stroll down the old town. Oh, it's just my friend.
That's true. For me too, it's just like I almost put it on the same camp of like ear rape type Vine humor almost, where like. The only reason it's effective is not because it's executed well or done well. It's because it's loud.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, in Vine's case, when the LOL ear rape comes on, you're supposed to laugh at it because it's loud. And it hurts your ears. And in the same way of a jump scare, it's not really doing, in my eyes, enough to really scare you. It's just more of like, boo, but loud. Right? And to me, that's just like, ugh, I don't need any of that. I don't... It's effective, I guess. I feel like shit. But, like, that's not scary as much as it is just human nature, I guess. Loud things are scary in general. So, I don't know.
Because what they should do is build up like tension. They should like they should release tension because it's deserved. It shouldn't just be an exaggerated form of something we didn't need to see.
Get Out was pretty good at that. I loved Get Out.
Get Out fits in the fuckery category because
they go places.
Jordan Peele is I want to say an artist, but then I saw Us, so then I had to take that title back.
I was not about to watch Us. I was barely able to get through Get Out with Zach watching.
I didn't like Us.
Okay.
Because like it took like it had that fuckery in it, but I feel like it took away from a really really good idea.
And Get Out doesn't go like fucking crazy until the end either. I think that's what I really like about it. Is like for most of it, it's just like a dude in a house, right? Like a family, right? And it's obviously something is wrong. But they spend 2/3 of the movie not telling you what the fuck is wrong.
Why everything's so
building that tension. Right? Building that tension. And then the third act is like, oh god.
Here it is!
And then we get the sort of action-y, gory, killing people nonsense.
And that's
but like
why
for the first 2/3 though, damn is it good. Like, ooh, loved that.
So I'm typing currently at you. Because I have 2 films that I think fit perfectly into that idea. And to be honest, I low-key want to watch these with you. So Hereditary.
The Shining I've wanted to see. Hereditary
is a fucking masterpiece. Hereditary is
Shining I wanted to see.
The best horror movie I've seen in this decade. And then The Shining is just a classic.
I'd want to see that regardless. So it's one of those I'll have to sit through even if I don't want to.
The Shining is all tension. It's all like, ooh, watch this entire world just collapse and then give you a little bit of. Hereditary is oh yeah, what were you saying?
Most of like Kubrick and Hitchcock type shit, where it's just mostly tension, like that stuff's pretty good for the most part.
Yeah. So. While Hereditary is I can't spell fuckery. Like I watched that movie. I have a funny story. So about either a quarter way or halfway through the film, something really big happens. I'm not gonna say it. For all of you that have seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. But I don't want to say it because I do want to share this to you. But so something big happens, and it's sort of been building up to that, and the outcome didn't have to be that way. And it's so quiet and just like lonely, and like I don't think there are jump scares in this movie. Or if there are, it's like very it's very subtle. And when I say subtle jump scare, I mean like the camera pans and there it is. It's not like the camera pans, bah! It's like the camera pans. Ooh, that's a spook right there, bud. But the transition from this big moment is so casual and just like quick that you can't stop thinking about it. And then like there's 5 of us in this room, and we're all just like watching this movie. This guy Dom, who's a good buddy of mine, his roommate's over, and he's just chugging up like a Long Island iced tea, and
okay.
And then we see a light coming from our window, and we live kind of in the cabin, sort of. Like this isn't my house; it's my sister's house, and it's all woodsy. It's not like rural, but like there's a road next to it. It's like in the middle or whatever, really trees, and this light. And Dom just looks over and says, "Julia, there's somebody in your yard." And they look out. Somebody's in the yard. So Julia and I run and get the gun. Everybody's like arming themselves. And then we pull out. And like, for context, we had a friend who was supposed to come over, but we didn't know what time she'd be over. So.
Oh, good Lord, why?
You can see where this is going, right?
Why?
So she thought
all times.
So we're like spazzing from that same moment, getting the gun. Jules is loading this shit like so casually. She's so calm, and I'm like right behind her. I'm like, I'm ready to fuck anything up if I can. I'm ready. Let's go. And then we the gun's loaded. It's fucking cocked. And then Dom like gets another good check. He was like, Julia, look through the window. He's like, I'm not trying to get shit. He's like, look through the fucking window. And it's, excuse me.
This is how people end up dead, by the way. It's like when you hear about an accidental shooting or whatever. Someone's friend ends up hurt. Or like having a bullet through their liver. It's like, why did this happen? Well, now you know why it fucking happened. Somebody was watching fucking Hereditary.
Alright, so...
That's so wild.
What were you saying when I had to dissipate?
I'm like, this is how accidental shootings happen. This is how people end up fucking scarred for life because somebody was watching a fucking horror movie.
But yeah, so like everybody's really just anxious, and I'm like loving the fact that this movie actually got me anxious. And then like we check out the window, and it's Brittany. And we let her in.
Yeah.
Julia just like sighs. She's like, "God damn it, Brittany." She just takes all the bullets out, like all of it, uncocks it. Everything's good. Everything's fine. And then we keep the gun out so Brittany knows what she had done.
That's nice.
We just like point it to the ground, like, look at what almost happened to you. And she was like, and then Brittany is like the sweetest, but she's like so ditzy at this moment. Like she's really smart, but she's so ditzy at the moment. And she's like, I was gonna grab a branch and tap on the window to get your attention. I knew you guys were watching a movie. And it's like, that would have gotten you shot faster.
That would have been an awful idea.
Yeah, it really would have. But then we finished the movie and it got to what the fuck by that ending, and I loved it. It's definitely gonna it's just a really good movie.
Okay. We'll see.
Yeah.
Not promising nothing, but we'll see.
I got you.
We'll see. The Shining for sure, though. I want to see it.
I got you. I'm with you on that. But that's my little weird story there.
That was nice. That was a good story. It could have ended a lot worse than I thought it was going.
Oh, you really think I was gonna just like start laughing about the time that my friend died?
Not even died, just like ended up in the hospital for 4 weeks or whatever.
Oh yeah,
in a coma or some shit. I wasn't expecting death, but something awful.
No, I guarantee if we had fired, Brittany would have been dead because Jules has a really good shot.
Wow.
Like, you don't scare people that have guns.
Yeah, it didn't work out.
Ugh, it was a time.
Even that setup and story almost feels like it could be in a horror film, right?
Probably
like,
I could.
You take Brittany out keep Brittany in as like a fake jump scare and then replace later on in the night. Same thing happens. Ooh. Like, LOL, Brittany, very funny. And then it's just a fucking tree monster or whatever. Knocks down the ceiling. I don't know. I'm not very good at writing this, obviously, but it's a very horror movie setup, even.
I have this really stupid dream of writing a horror movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where all of the characters make smart decisions.
That'd be great.
So, allow me to elaborate. Very simply, I'm telling you, like the proverbial first 2 deaths at the beginning of the movie.
Right.
Like beginning, you see the killer killed 2 guys, and then like 2 other people die, maybe like 20 minutes later. Now it's a serial killer threat. Nobody else dies.
Wonderful.
And the thing is, I almost want to put it from the killer's perspective, because then it'd be so funny. It's just like...
You just keep fucking up.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, guys, how about we have this party so everybody can be in the same place at the same time? Yeah, sure. Sounds like a good plan. And then, like, there's that one kid's like, oh, I can't leave, because, like, there's a killer on the loose. Like, oh, we get you.
God damn it.
Hey, I'm gonna go get another beer. Will, like, 2 of you guys come with me? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I love that.
They're like armed and everything, just in case.
Honestly, it's like, hey, can you get the bat, Brittany? It's like,
just to be safe.
Yeah,
you never know.
Just play the game,
Right.
But I don't know. Do you have any thoughts?
That'd be a good movie. I enjoy it. I'd be hyped. I think I said most everything that I wanted to with horror films. I guess like in general,
yeah.
Not usually a fan of the most part, but like there are certain occasions, again, like Get Out or tension building stuff, or even more the lighthearted like Halloween special type shit,
yeah,
or like Halloween cartoon episodes or whatever, like that type of shit I can handle. But there's just certain parts of it, I don't know, just the anxiety and the jumpiness of it all that it's It's a little too loud. It's a little too not for me, I guess.
Yeah.
But I totally understand. I think I understand a little bit more through this podcast what the appeal of it is.
Well, I'm glad.
But it's bizarre. You were gonna give me the reason why you don't have nightmares anymore.
All right, I was actually about to see how I could segue that.
Yeah.
So
I wouldn't let you get off the hook. This is an interesting story.
Oh, okay. Well, no, I was like, I wasn't gonna let this get off the hook. I like telling this. So,
Sure.
Only one person has ever doubted me, and it made me so confused because he's like the most open-minded person, my philosophy teacher. Because I think I've mentioned this before, and he thought that was so weird because I guess he hadn't heard of it, or he just hadn't understood it as a concept. But I can lucid dream.
Right.
And I feel like maybe he only imagines it to be like a imaginary concept because I'm pretty sure his only interpretation of lucid dreaming happens to be in Inception, which is a very common philosophical film in which we watch in his class. So, I don't know.
Oh, I see. So something on that level, and it really wasn't.
Yeah, it's not that deep. Deep Inception.
A lot dumber.
Yeah, it's a lot dumber. So, when I'm gonna say, wait, when did Adventure Time come out?
2010.
Why do you know that?
Well, I know that whole era. That whole era.
Like that's correct is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Regular Show was like a year later, 2011, and then Gumball was like 2013-ish.
All right. Right before the
So.
I got you.
Uncle Grandpa, I think, was 2015, 2016.
Ugh. That's when I stopped watching.
I remember the good and the bad. Like, I have the whole...
Poor bastard.
We got that covered.
So... It was, I'm gonna say 2009. Just to be safe.
10 years ago?
Yeah, about 10 years ago.
Okay. I'm going back.
Because Adventure Time had been out long enough for this to make sense to me. So I'm in a... It's a casual nightmare, actually. And this was my last nightmare, and what built up to being the reason I can't have nightmares. So I don't think I had heard of lucid dreaming as a concept, but the moral of the story, I slipped into it. So, I'm just doing my thing. I'm in my house. I look out the window. Zombies are attacking. Oh no. It could be worse. Like, I could be, like, really freaked out, but I'm not too freaked out. Because, we have guns. We don't have guns in real life, but, like, we have guns in this situation.
Sure, we're good.
And we're just, like, we're ripping through them, as you do, because zombies, and I'm, 9? Oh, I was 8. I was young. Alright, so...
10 years ago, it's a long time.
Oh, damn, I was even younger than that. No, wait, what? I don't know how old I was going to say, 10 years ago, I was 7. So, I'm an infant. ripping through these zombies. And then I had to reload. And I was like, what's easier than reloading? Picking up the gun behind me. So I dropped this gun, and when I looked back to grab the gun that was very much behind me, all of our guns are gone. So this becomes a nightmare situation.
Right, now it's not good.
We're being surrounded by these zombies, and it's the dead of night, too. And I don't know what to do. And in my mind, I just thought to say, Finn and Jake, Finn and Jake, Finn and Jake. I know how stupid that is, but I don't know, for some reason I felt like that was the right thing to do. So I shouted Finn and Jake 3 times. And then... the skies opened up. The night went to day. A single rainbow, of course. And, like, Jake in his inflated ass self, moseys down. And then, Finn just pops up. And all the zombies turn into, the candy zombies.
What the fuck?
I know, right? And then they just start going at it, and everything's okay. And I wake up, and I'm like, that was weird. And that was that was the loosening I needed. So a lot of people you can learn how to lucid dream. There's a bunch of videos on there. I still use some of the tips that actually help people realize, but I'm a little bit easier to coax because I have the ability to look around. Not everybody can just straight up look anyway, but I always had the ability to look around. I just didn't know how to use it. So, for the most part, I just knew, I can point my head in a direction, and there we go. And then I'd let the day progress or whatever. But for the longest time, I had to say it 3 times, and then it would happen. And
Weird.
I would use that for a while until I discovered that there were other people that could do this. And then I started looking at tips, and now I could just think it.
Right. Now you don't have to say it anymore.
Yeah, which is very satisfying because it'd be really awkward to say Bella Thorne, Bella Thorne, Bella Thorne during your sex dream. But
wow. Yeah, a little bit.
I mean, I don't know. There's one. If you ever have the chance to look around, which is good. If you ever find yourself outside, look straight up because your brain can't process the way that the sky looks. So you'll get a very Van Gogh style starry night almost of whatever the sky is supposed to be if you like directly stare at it, and it'll like glitch out.
What?
Yeah, no, that's what's happened every time.
That didn't work for me though, because I had one horrible fucking ass nightmare where the whole conception of the nightmare was like, LOL, the sky's red and we have no idea why, and that's it. Nothing bad ever happens. It's not like the end of the world or whatever, but just one whole dream where it's like the sky's red and it's this like blood red color, and nobody knows why, and then I just wake up after like hours of it. I wish that fucking worked.
That's terrifying.
I hated that.
It's just all the other. I always found that one to be the easiest. Like, so the weird thing I found out is that, well, this was learned through a lot of experimentation. So and then verified when I discovered that this is a legit thing. So you can't go too hard too fast, literally, because like if you just try to like become God,
it doesn't work.
Then you're gonna wake up because your brain can't process that much excitement that quickly. So you really have to ease into it, and then you can be God. Now,
interesting.
How do I word this? A lot of the other ways that are good, like clicks and snaps into the reality, into the dream, I suppose, would freak you out, and that's why I don't use them, because I'm afraid of what will happen. So like, there's the two others is look for a clock, because time is only a concept in our mind, so why would it be in our subconscious? So if you look at a clock, it's not going to read correctly, and then your brain will be like, oh, this isn't like life. And then the other one,
makes sense,
which is much creepier, look in a mirror.
Oh god, yeah, that's bizarre.
They say never look in a mirror when you're asleep or when you're dreaming, because your brain can't fully process how you look, which is because you'd never seen yourself. Like if you think about it, you've never really seen yourself, so
Yikes.
It's gonna look like you, but it's not you, and that's gonna make you really uncomfortable, and it could be which could spark a nightmare.
Good lord.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
So I've just gotten away from nightmares, because whenever I saw it going in that direction, I'd fix it. And then another thing which kind of happened when I got older is my more admiration for horror and for like storytelling, because all of my dreams, I write my dreams down, which also helps with that, so you can start.
I probably should be doing that.
How to differentiate. But I remember
I hop around too much is my issue. I just go too many places and I can't remember any of it.
I feel you. That's why you always gotta
I'm
like yeet that stuff down the minute you wake up.
Yeah.
I have a whole document of them on my phone, but it's good to do that, and I just find that all of my dreams like legit have like story elements to them. So even if they one of my favorite things to do is, now that I'm lucid, instead of just being a god all the time, I kind of see where my brain is going, and then if it just gets irritating, then I'll like fuck about.
Interesting.
Like there was this one time where someone's throwing rocks. I'll send you the document later, but somebody's throwing rocks at a cop car I'm with, and then I get arrested. I get sent to this minimum security prison. This prisoner tries to shoot me. I grab his gun within his hand, and he fires and kills himself. I get charged for murder. Now I'm in a maximum security prison. My inmates kill themselves, and then we get blamed for the murder. I'm in a supermax prison, and then I'm being walked by my officer, and they said, you shouldn't have killed that man in the first place. And I was like, one, it was self-defense, and two, I didn't kill him. He killed himself. And then I got so pissed off at this imaginary character that I dreamt up that I said, nope. And I did the most petty thing I think I've ever done in a dream. I scared the shit out of a figment of imagination.
Oh, God.
I snapped my fingers and I said day, and then it moved on to day. And I did this like 10 times, night, and day. And then she just starts spazzing, and I like enveloped the world in the fucking like tsunami. And it's like, we're not playing this game. We're not playing this game.
What the fuck?
I smite her. Like, I put her down with
Parker?
God's wrath. Because I just wasn't feeling her vibe anymore.
This just sounds like control issues, is all this is sounding like.
No,
like
because
somebody...
she was really making me mad.
Someone fucked you over in real life, and now in your dream hell, you're just torturing people with tsunamis and shit. Oh, God.
But yeah,
That's
I just couldn't take it. I don't know, there's something about her, because like everything I did was right in the situation. But she just wouldn't let up. She wouldn't, and I didn't have much of a choice but to just like put her down. I don't know. Like I see how that sounds, right?
Mm-hmm.
But she really was just like rustling my jimmies.
This just has to be somebody. This has to be a real life equivalent.
The fun fact is it wasn't, unless like I just like, imagined a personality that I hated.
It wouldn't even have to be like someone you knew for that long. It could have been like the girl at the Wendy's drive-thru who wouldn't give you the fucking ketchup. And then suddenly in the dream world, it's a totally different looking person, but it's the same energy. And you're just like, well, fuck this. I'm in control now.
Mm.
That's bizarre. Most of mine didn't have a whole lot of meaning to it.
Really?
I guess there was a lot of them where I was like getting chased by big cats specifically. So sometimes it'd be cheetahs. Yeah. Sometimes it'd be cheetahs, leopards, and then other times it'd be like, LOL, saber-tooth tiger. Why not? Let's change it up a little bit. And then there's another one specifically, and this is the weirdest one, and I don't know why, but I was very, very little, very, very little, and it's one of the dreams I can still remember and recount today. So it's like an RV or like a trailer or whatever, and I don't know how I'm able to drive. We'll just get past that. But like, it's 4 of us. It's like me, Ethan, a friend, and some other friend or whatever, probably from elementary school.
Yeah.
And 2 of them go in to get snacks or whatever. And then they come back and it was like, dude, who pissed on the floor? And I'm like, dude, it wasn't me. It's like, it would have had to have been you. We were out getting snacks or whatever. And it turns into this big thing, this big argument. They kick us out of the trailer and drive off. And we're like out in the middle of nowhere. And I'm like, damn, how are we going to be able to catch up to them? For no reason. A bunch of weenie dogs
like a bunch of
come up,
like literal dachshunds.
weenie dogs.
Oh
And we're like,
God.
oh, this is perfect. And then we ride them to catch up and then kick them out of the trailer and we win. That's basically, and that's all I remember. Yeah.
Like life size.
Yeah, I think it was like life-size weenie dogs.
Did they like form Voltron?
I don't know. We're just like they were like horses, kind of. They could go the speed of a horse. Somehow we were able to catch up to said trailer, prove that it wasn't us. I forgot who actually did it.
Oh my God!
And then been like, haha, it wasn't me. And then we get the trailer back. But that's one of them that's like so bizarre, so nonsensical, so like why that I remember that one. And then there was another one I remember, but for the opposite reason, where it was like, it was, I guess sort of, I was watching a lot of Static Shock, like the superhero show or whatever, at the time. And so there would be a series of reoccurring dreams where almost like the Shocker or whatever, right? There's some sort of name. Yeah. And it'd be a thing where you would run away from him or whatever, and then he'd always get you, but it would always feel like every time he did, it was like a shock or whatever. Like, it felt like a shock in the dream, and almost like on my body or whatever. And we were wondering for the longest time what it might have been. And I think the prevailing theory that ended up happening was every time that happened, we were at my grandparents' house, and there would always be a cat that came in and slept there, and that cat had sharp claws. So it would always feel like it was a shock, when in actuality it was probably just some asshole cat. But that was the other one I remember. This like series of like shocker dreams. This like kind of electricity sort of villain, I guess. I don't know. But those I remember a lot. Yeah. Nowadays they're a lot more real life and just like, LOL, I'm in a school and there's a school shooting. I'm out of school. I don't know why. Or it's like, oh, a family member dies. Now I have to put the pieces together or whatever. Like a lot less fun and not nonsensical. So I just get a lot of those now. But back in the day as like a kid in a middle schooler, I just wild shit all the time. It was great.
So Jay, Jordan, and I invented the concept of Parker's acid dreams. So this was these happen sometimes. It's very peculiar when they exist. But they gained the name due to the first dream the first acid dream was of acid quality that it had to be given that name. And would you like me to recount?
Yeah, sure, why not?
So this is an experience. So I like to call this dream Bratva Bear. Bratva for brotherhood in Russian, and you'll see why. So I'm a girl, but I'm me.
Okay.
I'm still Parker, but I'm a girl. And
we're off to a good start.
I'm an attractive girl, which I found funny. And the thing is, Jay has a crush on me.
Oh.
But he's not going to say it. Yeah, this is a start, isn't it? But
we really are going places.
So Jay has a crush on me, and Jordan's finally moving back. And his mom's here. And if you didn't know, Jordan is he's half German and half Russian. His mother is from Russia, and his father's from Germany. Now
I didn't know that.
You did?
I didn't know that, actually.
Oh, okay.
I never knew.
So, Linda, his mother, is she's been in the States for about since she was 20, maybe. So like her accent is like still there, but she understands, she speaks, she's fine. Now, she's the sweetest lady, but in the stream, she turns on us while Jay and I are playing Donkey Kong Country, and oh, I know, right?
As you do.
She turns on us and she pulls out this ray gun. She starts firing, and then like Jordan like pushes her down. He's like, "Mom, what the fuck?" And they're like, "I don't know." So we all like, so we had to kill her, but before we could kill her, she unzips her body, and she's no longer the mild-mannered Linda Fischbach. She is now a bear on a unicycle. Yeah, she's a. So we kill her, and she says that the world will be taken over. So, what do? Linda's Russian, so we go to Russia. And
yeah, of course.
So we slowly, like, as we get there, we realize that the world's being taken over by bears on unicycles, and we're super confused. So, like, we start suspecting that Jordan is really in on it, and he's just trying to kill us or something, because he is her child. But
sure, they have to be in cahoots. He has to be a tiny bear on a unicycle the whole time.
That's what we think. But then
right.
we get to this one Russian man, and he seems completely unfazed, and he unzips himself, and so we pull out a gun, and then he says, "Put the gun down." And we're like, "Why?"
Okay.
And he's like an old bear on a unicycle, and he tells us a story of how Russia used to be a part of the moon.
Still not connecting to the whole bear plot.
Russia used to be a part of the moon.
Okay.
So the bears on unicycles lived there. But then a meteor crashed into the moon. When the moon... Sorry. You know the meteor that went into the Earth that became the moon?
Became the moon, yeah.
So during that, like, phase of splitting, a piece of the moon fell off and landed on Earth, and it became Russia. I know. This is you see why it's acid now, right?
Yeah.
So we're like, oh, well, what do we do? It's like, wait, so was she really your mother? Yes. So we raise our gun. And then he's like, put your gun down again. And I was like, why? And he's like, how do we know that Jordan's not going to turn on us? And he's like, because he's the chosen one.
Oh.
Jordan,
boy, now we're going places.
Being a half Russian is half bear on a unicycle. But as we've established, bears on unicycles come from the moon. So not only is he a bear on a unicycle, he's a space bear on a unicycle.
Sure.
And it turns out, since he's only half Russian, the German side counteracts the evil, which is ironic.
It's one way of telling history, I guess.
And it builds the boy on a unicycle. So he's handed a unicycle and given a gun, and he's the avatar of this situation. Right. So we're just like slaughtering these evil bears on unicycles. Some are going down, some are not going down. And then we're like fighting them. And then like there's a mountain of dead bears on a unicycle that Jordan, unicycles up. He points his gun to the sky, shoots up, and we've survived. We've won. We all go back home. Jordan puts his unicycle in his bag. Mm-hmm. we all go back to do what we wanted to do in the first place. Add Jordan to our game of Donkey Kong Country.
Yes.
But then Jay's like, "Yo, Parker, I gotta go pee," and I'm like, "All right, cool, whatever." And this is the part where my perspective changes. So instead of just being myself like I was before, like I'm watching as if I was a camera. Like I'm a camera angle now.
Oh, okay. So we switch over to Jay now? Is that what we're doing?
We're focusing on Jay.
Okay.
And then he looks behind him, he locks the door, and then he unzips himself a little bit.
Right.
Just wait, it gets worse. And then he splits off. And he's a little smaller Jay. And he does it again, he's a little smaller Jay. He does it again, he's a really super small Jay. And then I knock on the door. "Hey Jay, you alright?" "Yeah, coming." And he hops back into himself and he leaves. Because Jay was a Russian nesting doll the whole time.
What the fuck?
And then I wake up.
So you set yourself up for a sequel, basically. You finish the movie, you finish the plot, and then just right at the end attempt you into part 2 of the film.
I never got
nesting doll.
Dream.
We never got part 2?
We never got part 2.
This is just like Invasions of the Body Snatchers, but like retarded. It's just like... There's like 3 or 4 films in here. We got like Avatar. We got like a spy film going to Russia, right? We have Body Snatchers, and then like a little bit of horror with the tiny J's and such. It's wild. Wow. Holy shit.
The Body Snatchers.
I figured that J twist was coming though, because if it wasn't Jordan, somebody in the group was gonna be the traitor.
I don't know if he's a traitor or not. I just know that he is a Russian nesting doll. And I don't know.
Yeah, but that can't be good. That can't be good.
It probably can't because it's from Russia, and we've established that those are spacemen, and spacemen are evil.
In the lore. Yeah.
But I sit here, I tell that to Jay and Jordan.
As you do.
In the morning, and they're just like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? did you shoot up acid before you went to bed?" And I'm like, "I wish, but no."
You know what the weirdest part of that entire thing is? The whole assertion that you were a girl had nothing to do with the rest of the rest of the story.
It didn't. I just know I was a girl. Like I looked in the mirror and I was like, my hair is like a cute pixie cut, and I have I'm a woman. Okay.
Right. That had nothing to do with the rest of it though. So why would it matter?
It's just a no. I just had I don't know. There's this romantic subplot between Jay and I.
Right.
Because like I had to water it a little bit because this dream felt like a movie. Like,
right. You had to pat it out a little bit. There were some talking scenes and there's some dialogue bits.
There was.
It didn't quite get, unfortunately.
It was so weird. I don't know.
That's a screenplay right there. You should write.
It is.
Should have that one down. Pitch it to Sci-Fi. See what they think. They'd probably eat that shit up. Probably like, this is brilliant. This is wonderful.
I'm gonna kill myself.
And they don't even have to CGI the bears. They could just get actual circus bears and just do the part for them. Yeah.
But all Russians are bears on unicycles. All Russians are space bears on unicycles. Cosmonaut space bears on unicycles.
Damn.
I shit you not.
Oh.
There's something wrong with me.
I'm glad we got that story out for the finale of the show, because I feel like we had to have had that to really put my mind at ease.
I can see the title already. Horror, lucid dreams, and bears on unicycles.
And bears on unicycles.
It's a C.S. Lewis book.
Absolutely. Might be Stephen King. Who the fuck knows? He probably writes something like that.
Hell,
It's possible.
I need to finish that Stephen King book I'm reading right now. It's great, but I really want to finish it because Netflix made a movie about it, and I'm really hyped for it.
Oh, okay. Trying to catch up before the film. I see.
No, the movie already came out. It's just I didn't know it was a movie until I was halfway through the book, and I'm like, oh, I can't watch the movie until I finish the book. So.
Right.
And the thing is, I think the mom from Spy Kids plays the main character.
Oh.
And like she kind of a baddie, so I'd love to see her strapped to a bed.
We out here.
But then also like there's some scenes in this movie that okay. I'm sorry, in the book that I don't know if I want to see translated.
In live action, per se.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But, yeah. Do you have any other closing thoughts?
I don't know. Like the whole past 5 minutes have just kind of been a blur in my head of the nonsense that has come out of your mouth here. I guess since it's the last episode of the show, we should just kind of talk about our experiences with it and like where we're at now. I guess I don't know. Right. I feel like that'd be a nice bookend at least, because this is the final episode or whatever. At the time, I think this will be episode 4, right? Because you're gonna put 3 out later, so it'll be like a 4-part mini series, if you will. So let's just talk about like the show in general, where we're at, thoughts, and then we can end it off there since it is the finale.
Well, since it goes on my channel, you should go first.
I feel like since it's on your channel, you should go over.
But like you're the guest technically, even though you're like the co-host. So.
I can't believe I've just been demoted to guest on the final episode. I couldn't even keep my co-host title.
You're the co-host,
whatsoever.
And this is my channel, so they get enough of me, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, I see. They probably don't want to hear any more from you after your unicycle nonsense. They just want like a little bit of levity, if you will. Okay, so this podcast was a wild ass experience. From beginning to end, I'd say. Every episode, despite having some sort of plan and idea, devolved into crazy nonsense. But it was very funny, entertaining, crazy nonsense. I do 2 other podcasts alongside this, Aden and I, which is a bit more of a personal, serious podcast, and another YouTube podcast, which is more about advice and stuff. So Other Side of the Fence was interesting for me creatively because it was probably the first podcast I've been on where just everything went wrong. And so I had to kind of, I guess, grow a bit of a different podcasting muscle, trying to bounce off of nonsense, play more into the humor, tell stories, and like flow with the conversation, and no matter how crazy it got. So I think overall, each episode made me a better podcaster, made me a better content creator, and like I got to learn a lot about you along the way, which I think is really cool because we don't do a whole lot of stuff together. So it was nice to get your perspective on a lot of different stories and side projects and stuff. And heck, even the Cafro episode, I got to learn a lot about Cafro as well. As our only guest to the show, I got to learn a lot about him. But no, this was a fun experience. I'm not sad that it's over because we had a really good run with it, but like I am kind of a little bit sad that it's coming to the end. But honestly, we put out 4 really crazy episodes, really interesting listens, and again, I'm still gonna do collab stuff with you on Lions Honor Gaming and actual collab stuff on this channel. So I look forward to that along the way. But yeah, I think those are my thoughts. What about you? Doing this podcast?
I definitely agree on the honor of getting to learn more about you, because I've always really enjoyed your company. But
that's gay.
As we know, well, actually, today is National No Homo Day, so there is no gay. This is being filmed on 10/20/2019, but this is
gay canceled.
This is November 1st. So yeah, it's No Homo Day today, which means you can do anything and it won't be gay. So
legally,
the word doesn't exist today. Actually, it's crazy. But
that's wild.
It really is. You can look it up. I'm not even shitting you.
I bet you're right. It's the sad part. Like, I bet that's actually a thing.
But
and I'm just unaware.
I've always enjoyed doing a lot of recording and videos with you, and then like, you know how I am, because like the way that we work as 2 people, I'm always wondering whether or not you just like do things with me because like we work together anyway, or if you actually enjoy my company. but like
Right.
I'm pretty sure we're on the good side. I'm just an anxious child, and I always like to hang because like you have stories, and then we do have a really 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 good like cinematic presence together, so we make good commentary.
Have a cinematic presence on an audio only podcast. That's one way of describing it, Parker.
It's just you'd find that I think personally the only people that I have really really good like video chemistry with are you and Jay.
Right.
Zach and I haven't done enough together for me to really say we do, but whenever I look back at old videos and like features I was in or with, I really like going back to the ones where you and I are talking because our brains really pop off each other a lot. So like
we have a good back and forth. I feel
it's a lot of fun.
And again, like it's still new for me. I've kind of gotten used to like doing a video with Zach or doing a video with Jay, but like, or even Kyle to a certain extent since we've done 2 LPs now. But with you specifically, with like Other Side of the Fence and Stardew, again, it's like I really have no idea what I'm getting into every time we record. And I think that's always exciting though, because I never know what exactly I'm gonna get. If it's like a really kind of, if I'm angry at you, or if I'm excited, or if we're laughing, or if we're joking, or if something wrong happens altogether, or if watching a movie, I can never tell. I can never get a read on it. But I think that's what makes it really interesting and fun. And hopefully, makes it good for you guys to listen to as well.
Yeah, but I'm just glad we got to do this, and I'm excited to do more stuff with you for YouTube, and then it's just been an honor getting to hang out with you these past almost 4 years.
Has it been 4 years? Oh shit! I think it's just been 2.
It has been. It's been more than 2.
Has it?
It's either almost 3 or almost 4.
It's almost 3 probably, because we wouldn't have. I didn't meet Zach until around 2017, and that was with all of you at the same time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so it'll be 3. Come
close to
the
3.
Year. Yeah. I guess.
Whenever that season 3 Nerdception episode, that's what I go back to.
Huh.
Whenever that came out or was recorded, I guess on Skype. LOL. Fucking Skype bat.
Skype. Who is she?
What was your favorite and least favorite episode? We only did 4. There's not a lot to choose from. But what was your favorite and least favorite? To remind you, I guess, episode 1 was the entitlement episode.
Okay.
Episode 2, I believe, in this context, because we had another episode 2 that never went out. But episode 2 in this context is the Cowfro one, talking about gimmicks.
Okay.
Episode 3... What was 3? 3 was like about like Twitter and social media stuff.
Yes.
If you recall that whole bit. That was a weird one. That was a weird one. And then this one was about like Halloween, lucid dreams in the finale. Mm. So favorite and least favorite out of that group. I'll do mine too.
Favorite. To be honest, it's the one we didn't upload.
Well, yeah.
In this context, I think I like all these videos. But my favorite has to be possibly either the Cowfro one or the social media one, because I feel like the social media one might be like the most serious one.
Yeah.
And I feel like
I'd say so.
That our debate and it wasn't really a debate because we're on the same page for the most part, but like our discussion was very proper. And
toxicity, I think is what it was.
It was really it was really well formed and put together, and I really like that.
Yeah, I like that episode a lot. I can't wait for that to actually come out, and I can listen back to it, because I listened back to all these. That one was really good. I enjoyed this finale a lot too.
Same.
If I'm being honest. Probably I had the most fun during the Cowfro one though. I think if I had to pick one, that one was just wild.
Max
all
is a
over
character.
the place. Yeah, he's great to interview, and we finally got him on the YouTube podcast as well, which is nice. But no, that one had the most amount of funny shit. We talked about like gimmick shit. We talked about VR. We had a really good VR conversation in that episode. I think that's my favorite. My least favorite, probably the entitlement one, because we were like very, 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 very new in that.
That's fair.
And that's the one where it's like, that's the only one Zach's listened to, and he's like, "What the fuck even was this episode?" And I'm like, looking back on it, we definitely got better as the show kind of went on. So, but no, I like all of them. I think the Cowfro one just happens to be my favorite, though.
That's nice. Well,
yeah.
Any final words?
Yeah, go subscribe to the Nerdception podcast channel. where you can catch up on all your... That doesn't even exist, actually. It's just all on Zach's channel.
Anywhere where podcasts can be found.
Yeah, well. God damn it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Go check out the other 3 whenever you're listening to this. Hope it was fun. Hope it was interesting. Hope it was a great mini-series.
I hope you had a good Halloween yesterday.
Yeah, sure.
If
Parker gets that on time, it might be November. I don't know.
Well, I hope you guys subscribe to Aden and Parker Productions. It's always not.
Wow.
I hope you subscribe to The Lens Honor Gaming, where we have equally annoying and random off the fucking wall content. You can see us do Stardew, which is an ongoing series, or you can go back in time and go see us playing Smash and Stick Fight, and you'll really hear some commentary there. Cause like
how many
many
episodes of Stardew have we done?
Of Stardew? 17, maybe 18.
So like not the newest episode, but the one right before that, called Parker's Finest Hour.
Oh,
God.
I
advise you guys to listen to that one.
So like
that
you
one,
changed
that episode
the title,
in particular,
and I was like, oh god,
I had
He's seen it.
I had to, because I read the comments, and that's all. No, that was weird because I read the comments, and I'm like, why are they mad? Why do they? And then I had to click on it just to see. I thought we did something wrong in the game, and then I remembered what it was, and then I got mad again, and then I had to change it. I won't spoil it for anybody listening to this, but go check out Parker's Finest Hour.
About that. I was like,
We'll talk about it after.
Oh, duh.
We'll talk about it after. But
well,
reliving that experience was wild. And then I had to change the title to Parker's Finest Hour because
I was just a little disappointed because I felt like my title was really good. It was like ominous.
It was good. Yeah.
Right.
The week that wasn't.
The week that was and the week that was. And...
The week that wasn't. Yeah.
So.
But yeah, go check out that series. Go check out Stick Fight. Go check out the Smash series. We have a bunch, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And stay tuned for other projects that we end up doing.
Of course. Well.
Yeah.
Sign yourself up.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go into the the gas chamber because this is the other side of the fence.
Yes.
So if you're wondering what the lore connotation is for why there's no more episodes, I just ended up in a gas chamber. So there you go.
And I'm Jewish, so I'm clearly with him.
Yeah.
Well, it's.
I hope they got the Febreze in there at least, because last time it smelled in there. It smelled like kind of dead people. So
I was always under the impression that carbon monoxide was odorless.
Oh, might be.
Actually, it is odorless because that's the same stuff that would get leaked in mining, right?
I think so.
And that's why they.
I know it's deadly.
Yeah, that's why they had canaries, because the canaries would only stop singing if the monoxide was out there, and then if they died, they needed to fucking run.
What is it where it's like it's a poisonous thing, but like if it smells like almonds, you know that it's like, oh, don't fuck with this. Is that carbon monoxide or is that something different?
I've never heard of that. And now I'm scared of the smell of almonds.
Like you're not. The thing is, like almonds don't have a smell. So you know that if something smells like almonds, then it's probably not like good for you. I don't know. I'm making up shit. Anyway, that's it for me, everybody. I'll see you boys later. You gamer boys, gamer girls, and chain linkers alike. So. Well,
I've been Karionyte. Call me Parker Card Cage or anything of the sort.
Don't call him Karionyte Gaming though. He doesn't like it. And I've been Aden.
And
a Blue Couch Productions.
It's been an honor. Lion's honor. And close.